Hi, I'm Peter Rose, founder of Longwood Currency Trading. Look, are you trading a Forex system or are you trading a process? If you don't understand the difference, you're probably trading a system, and that may very well be why you're not having the success in the trading of Forex that you feel you need to have. Primary to that is, first of all, being consistent in your trading and then being profitable. A system is it's something like a golden cross, when the short MA crosses the long MA, or London Open, or something like that. Whereas a process is a series of conditions that result in either executing or not executing a rule. A system is a static series of steps that you go through to complete a task. Driving a car, getting into a car and driving a car. That's a system. You open the door, you get in, you turn the car on, you put it in gear, and you go. That's a system. You can't use that system to race a car, drive a race car. That requires a process, if you can understand sort of the difference in that. In trading, it's easy to understand what a system is. It's a set of steps that you follow. Well, you might say, well, following a set of rules is a system. Yeah, but it's not. It depends on how you write the rules. This is one of the hardest tasks that I have in working with students who come in from several years of trading that don't really understand that they've been trading a system. It's so hard for them to let go of the security, because that's what a system provides for you. It provides security. You don't have to think. When the short MA crosses the long MA, you do this, right? A process requires, before you hit bid ask or on either a close, open, build, or whatever, that you go through like a checklist. Is this condition of the market true? Is this condition of price action true? Is this condition of the situation true? Oh, no, it's not. Oh, then you don't execute that rule. If that last condition I just mentioned is true, then you keep going down until the last condition is met. If that's true, you execute the rule. So that's not a system, and it's, if you really sit down and get your head around it, you'll see the value in that. So in constructing your rules, and you should be constructing and using rules, and those rules are found within the framework section of your trading plan, not in the static methodology section, but in the structured framework of your trading plan. You need to have that as a base, as a foundation for your trading. If you don't have rules, and if you don't have a trading plan, but the rules are part of that trading plan, then it's like trying to build a big house on a really small foundation. Maybe a 2-inch thick pad when you're trying to build a 3-story house, when you need a 8-inch pad. If you can separate from what is being taught out there in video land and courses and stuff, if you can separate yourself from all that noise and step back and really look at what you're doing. If you can't state what you're doing in very few sentences, then you really don't know what you're doing. You're trading in real time. In real time, you're making it up as you go, and you can't do that. The market is too deadly. You need to have this stuff figured out ahead of time, but not in a static, systematic way, in a process-oriented way. A major part of the fast track course that I have, it's a 6-week program, deals with process-oriented trading. And even the course is set up as a process of education. I don't know what these guys are doing and how you feel about the stuff that's going on out there. I was just talking with a couple of folks this week that are thinking about taking a course from me. And their concern is, well, what exactly is it that I'm going to be learning to do that I can't learn from a book or from Bob's FOREX trading and swimming course? It's very difficult to describe that if you don't understand certain definitions that the world of trading relies upon for those that are serious about process, as opposed to just, oh, give me the secret sauce. That's really what most of the folks that contact me are looking for. I have this question. Well, it's not really a question about trading that they're asking me. It's a question that if you answer this question, that must be the secret sauce, and then I'll be successful. And it's not that quite easy, because the secret sauce is a series of answers to a question, and that main question is, do I hit bid ask? Do I build or add? Do I manage the position in a different manner because we're in a range bound or a trend, for example? And then the exit part. I teach what I call the life cycle of a currency position. That's the problem that we need to, or there are three problems that comprise the life cycle of a currency position. I was a software engineer for 33 years. So we used a thing called the Software Development Life Cycle, the SDLC. And that's a complex series of steps and conditions and processes that you go through in order to solve complex business application development problems, and even subsystems development problems as well. It's like a airline pilot's checklist stuff that you got to do. So, and I used that for that process, the software development lifecycle, for 33 years in building complex enterprise-level business applications. So when I looked at the currency market after I lost $40,000, after 8 years of studying the currency market as an academic exercise, I thought, oh, this is really stupid. I took courses, I did all this stuff. I've traded in demo for years. I've written simulation analysis against the Forex price action. I've got hundreds of books and I've watched hundreds of videos, and I lost $40,000, and I'm a pretty bright guy. What happened? Well, what happened was that I got swept up in watching the videos and listening to the background noise instead of addressing the real problem that I was trying to solve. I was taught to solve the wrong problem. So when I identified what that problem was, it's a massive problem. And so I said, well, I'll use the software development lifecycle. How do you take a complex thing and solve it? Well, you break it up into simple things that you can solve. And so the life cycle of a currency position consists of 3 phases of solution: entry analysis, position management, and exit methodology. Couldn't get any fucking simpler than that. Each one of those problems has one rule to solve it. If you have a problem and you need more than one rule to solve that problem, then the problem is too complex. You need to break that problem into 2 pieces if you need 2 rules to solve it. They need to be discrete, what we call encapsulated, and they need to be uncoupled, loosely coupled. In other words, they don't have dependencies on each other, but they need to be sequential. I know that all sounds like a bunch of gibberish because nobody's talking about stuff like this. But that's what you need to do if you're going to be successful. If you think you could beat the system, go to the racetrack. Your odds are a lot better. Sit at a roulette table, go play craps, but don't trade currencies, because you will lose everything that you put on the table in 15 minutes. Boom, gone. If you don't know the difference between a system and a process, and you don't have the correct methodology of executing that process in a linear and sequential manner of problem solution, entry analysis, position management, and exit methodology. Those are the problems that you need to write rules for. And your rules need to be based on conditions, as I just mentioned. That's all I've been talking about here is process. So that's what we do in the fast track program. And that's why it only takes 6 weeks to go through. No, you're not going to do it in 3 days. I mean, your first task in the course is to read through the whole course in a week, twice. Read the course twice. And then you are assigned, go back and read this section of the course, do this, do this, do this, think about that, and then at the end of that week, we'll get together for a video conference or get together personally if you happen to be in the area where I live, and then we'll discuss what you just did. And then the next week is the same thing. Rinse and repeat. And it doesn't take very long to go through the course because you know everything that's in the course because you read it twice to start with. But that doesn't mean that you know how to implement it, that you understand a problem solution, that you understand process-oriented trading. That's the point of doing the course. The course doesn't teach you about fucking Bollinger Bands and all this other horseshit, fundamental analysis or any of that crap. You don't need any of that in order to learn how to trade. You don't need to know how to drive a race car or how a carburetor works in order to learn how to drive a car. All you need to know to learn how to drive a car is how to get into the car, how to turn it on, how to put it in gear, and how to step on the gas pedal and the brake pedal. That's it. That's all you need to learn how to do. Do you know how to drive a car? In the raw sense, yes. Do you know how to drive it safely? Could you drive on the highway? No. That's another problem that you need to solve. And so the process of getting you through initially learning how to drive the car sets the stage for the other stuff that you need to learn in order to carry that stuff forward. And so the 6-week fast track program that I have, you get all that done in the first 4 weeks so that you've got 2 weeks left to add layers on to what you have learned during that first 4 weeks. And you've already been trading a $1,000 account for probably 2 weeks or 3 weeks. So you're developing your trading metrics. You're learning how to implement them into the manner in which you construct your rules, because that's a dynamic process during the course, how you are developing the rules. When you start out after 3 days into the course or 4 days into the course with a live account of $1,000, you only have one thing that you need to know how to do, and that's how to hit bid ask and get into the trade. I mean, I'm not teaching you beginners. I may be able to help you out and get you started, but that's not the focus of my training, because it's me that you're getting. It's my time that you're getting, and I would rather spend that time with somebody who has been a trader and got beat up and understand the complexities of trading and say, I really love trading. I want to know how to do that. I don't need a beginner who has no friggin' idea what's involved and would get involved in a course and go, I don't really feel like working that hard, Peter. Isn't there some secret sauce? I'm sorry. Well, I've been involved in the martial arts for 58 years. I don't have very much patience for that. So, unless you're really, really committed as a beginner, I'm probably not the guy that's going to help you out, because I don't have a secret sauce for you. I have a process, and I'd like to share that process with you. If you'd send me an email, this isn't a pitch to take the course. I'd like to talk with you through email or maybe even a video conference. This is what I do. This is what you should be doing. Now, you don't necessarily need to take a course from me because it's expensive and it takes 6 weeks. But this is what you need to be looking at in order to be successful. And we'll talk about it to the extent where you understand that. And then if you want to talk about taking the course itself, oh, great, we could talk about that. But I don't have anything to sell you. If you are interested, you can buy a course from me and we'll go on from there. But my task is to help you as a trader, because I'm a trader. I love it. I have a great amount of fun doing it, and I'm so sad I get emails all the time. I've been trading for 2 years. I've been trading for 3 years, and I just feel awful. I get consistent, and then I'm not consistent. I've lost my account, and then I have to reload the account. And I so much want to be able to do this. And I've done this course, and I've done this, and I've done this system, and I've worked on this, and blah, 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 and on and on and on the story goes for pages in an email. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing anything wrong. You're just doing too much. You're lost in the clutter of all the information that's out there. So let's talk in a video conference, and I'll tell you how to eliminate all the unnecessary stuff and what you need to focus on. And once you understand what you need to focus on, then we can possibly have a conversation where I could help you for no charge get rebooted in your trading. And that would be fulfilling for me as an educator. Again, I've been in martial arts for 58 years. I've taught martial arts for almost 58 years. I have students that have been with me for 40 and 50 years. I'm an educator. I love the process of educating. I've taught software engineering. I've taught people how to play backgammon. I've taught people how to sail. I'm an educator. I like to share. If you want to take the course, it's not free. It's a lot of money. But it gets the job done where what you're doing probably doesn't. And the thrust of the video is, do you know the difference and understand the difference and the significance of trying to do Forex trading on a system as opposed to a process? I hope you understand that, and that you'll send me an email so that we can discuss that a little bit more to give you more of an ability to be a successful Forex trader. You know, the more successful you are, that doesn't take away from whatever success I have. You got a $7.5 trillion a day market. Am I going to be worried because you're in there trading your 3 lots or your 100 lots or your, you know, there are guys out there that are trading 1,000 lot positions. It doesn't even phase the market at $7.5 trillion a day. We don't matter. We're not the dog. And you have to remember that. We're not the dog, we're the tail. And if you don't know how to be a good tail, the dog's gonna wag your ass right off into the woods. Peter Rose, Longwood Currency Trading. Have a great day and have a great trading day.